Hello everyone and welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast. I hope you're ready for some eerie delights, as this week we're talking unexpected scary moments, Halloween favourites, and terrifying synonyms in the run-up to All Hallows Eve. Get into your most horrifyingly cozy blanket and settle down for the most wonderful time of the year. It's time to get spooky. Hello everybody, welcome to the PlayStation Access podcast, the official podcast of PlayStation UK. Where this week, it's Halloween, baby. So I hope you're ready for lots of oohing as the podcast goes on. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah?
I've got my pumpkins on my head.
I love your little pumpkins. They look so happy. Look at them. They're so lovely. And look at them just wobbling all. Yeah! Oh, you've got one that's having a great time.
I'm sorry, people who are only listening to this. You're missing out on the wobbly pumpkin things.
Rob's wobbly pumpkins right now. Me and Rosie are also decked out. We've got matching bat ears on. One's red and one's black. Team Bikini represent.
Yeah, Woo! Team Batkini.
It's amazing. Oh, I love the season, the spooky season. And so we are doing a horror-themed special this week on our podcast. So I have got us some names inspired by spooky stuff. Now, Rob, you already come with a classic name, and I'm not going to mess with it, so it's Horob Fearson.
Thank you.
You know, it's...
This just works. I forgot about the fearsome part, and I was just like, oh my God, your name's perfect, Rob.
Yeah.
Horob Fearson.
I remembered this because I was coming up with names and I went, oh, Hirosi, and I was like, oh no, Rob's already laid claim to Horob. So I can't beat it, you know. I tried for a bit and I was like, you know what, I'm going to have to concede at some point, and this is the one that I will concede on. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your name.
Thank you.
Hope you're happy.
I am.
I have gone for my classic across Discord servers, which is /Killman.
Nice.
Which is easy.
I didn't know if you were maybe going to do like a Monster Mash type thing.
No, my other favourite is the hash slinging slasher, just because it has Ash in it twice.
Oh, double whammy.
Yeah. But Rosie, I came up with one for you, which is a little bit rubbish, but still very spooky.
They're my favourite ones.
In the spirit of the season. So you are Scarecrowsy Caddick, like ick.
Ick. Oh, I like that. Scarecrowsy I really liked. And
that's pretty good, actually.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Scarecrowsy Caddick. Or Caddicky.
Caddicky.
You have to say the on the end to make it work. And then you just come in like a really gooey scarecrow.
Just put that on like all of my IDs now. Just I want Caddick. Just at the end of everything.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just goofing on your actual name. Right, so this week for a little preview of what we'll be talking about, we've got our main feature, which is unexpected spooky moments and some Halloween faves. Boom! That was an unexpected spooky moment. We then got comments of the week, which are community highlights from the hashtag Pod Squad. We then got Before We Go, which is coverage outside of gaming, and I'm laughing because I already know how fed up Rob is. And he's got an hour of this to come.
How many more of these instances are to come in the next hour? Who knows?
Oh no, don't worry.
You won't get me. You won't make me jump.
Okay,
You just won't do it. You
be
can't.
prepared. There'll be many jump scares like this one. Oh, that was a fake out. Woo! So first we've got to move to the What's New section, where I ask, what's new? So we are in the What's New section, and I'm going to tell you what is new. And the newest thing that has come this week that everybody is very excited for, and that we have been very excited for and spoken a lot about on our YouTube channel, is Marvel's Spider-Man 2 came out on the 20th of October. It's incredible, it's amazing, but I'm not going to go into it loads here because we do have loads of great videos that you should go and check out over on PlayStation Access. So go and do that, go and look at it, go and play it, and have a grand old time. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you about a game that maybe you haven't heard of that came out on the 19th of October called Mail Time.
Mail Time?
I've not heard of this,
Mail Time. I bring this one up because I feel like there's going to be lots of spooky stuff and horror
Mail
games.
as in post or mail as in mails?
I hope post.
Mail time.
It's mail time. The whole world is mail time.
Mail time now.
I hate it. No, it is. It's like postal o'clock.
Right.
It would be its
Post
British
time.
name.
Postal
o'clock.
Post o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's mail time, which is it's a cozy cottagecore adventure. So it's like this adorable little mushy lady, like a mushroom. Sorry, I shouldn't say that she's mushy.
I just pictured the lovely mushy lady.
Like a mushy pea. But no, like a mushroom lady. And she's in like this little town of creatures where there's woodpeckers and adorable frogs. And it's very, very like, when I say cottagecore, it's that kind of like doilies and beautiful flowers and eating a strawberry at a picnic, you know, like very cute, sweet, superb cozy game vibes. And that came out on the 19th and is about you trying to deliver mail, or a letter, should I say, for you, Rob, the mail. Where you play as her trying to deliver this letter, and kind of every person she goes to ask where Greg is to deliver this letter to, they have more post for her to deliver in the little trailer that I watched, which was quite funny. So it just looks really cute and really sweet.
So they've got a letter for Greg, but asking...
The first person has a letter for Greg.
Okay, and then in asking, they just get more letters.
Yeah, and then
are they all called Greg?
No. I think she's like, "Where do you know where Greg is?" And they're like, "Oh, I've got a letter you can deliver for me. Thank you, post lady." And she's like, Where's Greg?
Is she actually a post lady, or is she just someone who was doing a nice favour and now they've all just presumed she's the post lady?
You know what? I'm gonna have to play and find out.
I'm curious now about the thick plot behind this.
It is very twisting and turning.
Oh.
It just looked really cute, and I thought it was a nice little, you know, subversion of all of the horror and gnarliness and nastiness that is coming.
I've got to admit, I was waiting for you to drop the horror twist on mail time then. But it turns out that you're delivering post in hell or something.
That everyone's dead.
No, I just thought I'd start off nice and sweet and then move on to Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. The horror! So scary. Well, you know,
it does have spooky moments in it.
Yeah, well, there's loads in Metal Gear Solid that's like branches so many genres, and it's nice that it's out and people can play it and finally experience a franchise that maybe they haven't had their hands on yet.
You have to walk down a river of ghosts at one point.
Yeah, I like that. That's what I got to say.
It's good, spooky.
Yeah. Good, spooky. It is a very spooky moment, though. Don't they fully, like, the music's just basically just very silent, and just the whole time you just hear, like, the screams and stuff as well.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, I remember doing that for the first time, and I was like, that scene in Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, in Metal Gear Solid 3, it really gets you.
They ham it up quite a lot, so some of the ghosts are like, so it's like, you know, it's a bit Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
But the whole premise is pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you hear that? Sorry, just...
A jump scare's coming, isn't it?
No, I just thought I heard something strange going on. Never mind. Carry on.
I think you just caught her up for a jump scare.
I know what you're doing.
So you're like, no.
This is exactly the kind of thing I would do if I was trying to do it.
Oh, I will get you, Rob Pearson.
You won't.
I will get you, Rob Pearson. But in the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, I've written Throw to Rob. So there you are, Rob. I've also written all the games that are coming, which is Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid, including VR missions and special missions, Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty HD Collection version, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater HD Collection version, Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge.
Well, those last two are incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
Like Snake's Revenge, I don't actually know too much about. So that the fact that that's included is really cool. Also, Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, like the start of the story of the saga, which was included, I believe, in the original Metal Gear Solid 3 HD collection on PS3. But to have them all together in one bundle.
Yeah.
Amazingly exciting. Especially Metal Gear Solid 1. Just being able to play Metal Gear Solid on a PS5. It's just cool. It's very, very cool.
Get to play it, the whole thing again and have a great time again. I've recently saw my boyfriend play Metal Gear Solid 1 for the first time on PS1. And just watching it all again, I was like, I'm just going to play it again myself. Even though I've literally just watched it, I'm like, this is a great game. I'm just going to play it myself.
I think it's out by the time people will be listening to this. It will be out in the wild.
Yeah, 24th.
So, you know, think of all the trophies as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen a lot of people go like, trophies? I'm going to get all the trophies. Ooh. So, are you going to get the trophies for them, Rob?
Well, yeah, I'll try. Unless I look at the trophy list and there's something really, really hard on there. In which case...
Finish the game.
In which case, I'll just not talk about it. because I don't want the embarrassment of people being like, have you got the Platinum Trophy in Metal Gear Solid, Rob? No. Oh, I thought you were like Mr. Metal Gear.
You do realise in saying that you've signed your fate.
Not really, because I just won't mention it again.
Oh, well, everyone
unless
else will.
Unless I get the Platinum, in which case I won't stop mentioning it.
If you put hashtag Pod Squad...
Pod Squad.
Thank you.
I missed it.
With any troubling of Rob for this Platinum, I will read it out every week. So just.
What could they make you do for the Platinum in that game?
I don't know. Eat a snake.
What? That's like difficult.
Just like hard.
Probably take pictures of all the ghosts.
I mean, that's not too difficult.
Not too difficult, but if you're doing it like without following a guide or,
I guess they could make you unlock all of the special items like the bandana and the stealth camo and all that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, we're speculating.
Yeah, we're speculating now. Now we're just like, how are we going to make this really hard?
But it's very exciting to have all of the Metal Gear games, or lots of the Metal Gear games, all playable on PS5 in one lovely bundle. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I have never played Metal Gear Solid. Let's move on to Ghost Runner 2, which is out on the 26th, or has come out on the 26th. Oh, I'm glad that Rob didn't respond to that. I thought I was going to get a hang on a second, but it was okay. About they're not playing Metal Gear Solid. I got away with it.
Well, you just quickly went on, didn't you?
Literally, you just were so quick that no one could even slide anything in.
It's fine. Not everyone's going to have played everything.
I think you'll definitely like moments in Metal Gear Solid, though.
Yeah.
Like the spooky moments you'll definitely really like.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to give it a go at some point, and this is the perfect excuse to. And I also want to give Ghost Runner 2 a go, because it does look really good.
Oh, yes. I played this at Gamescom.
Yes.
Really, really good. I was pretty bad at it. But then it's the kind of game where being bad at it actually works in my favour to the end, because by the end I'd learnt through all of my failure, and I guess this is the point of the game really, you learn where all the enemies are and you just end up stringing together this gloriously cool sequence of action gameplay that when you pull it off, you're like, oh yes, this feels great. And it's so instant, it so instantly gets you back into the action if you die that I didn't even have time to get annoyed. I could feel it, like, oh no, I'm playing again.
Is it like, yeah, I was going to say it's a super
back in
quick.
there.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
So it's, in terms of the structure of it, it felt a lot like Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like Hotline Miami. It's this beautiful sci-fi futurist dystopia that you're playing in. And then you've got the bike bits. That I remember when we first saw the trailer for it, and the trailer was just a motorbike driving down a building, driving down the side of a building, and that being really cool. The motorbike bits are so cool.
Yeah.
Just going really fast, and at the last minute, like a tunnel will be blocked off, and you'll just see like the route you've got to take right at the last minute, and anti-gravity, driving on walls, driving on the ceiling. So much fun to play. So I think there'll definitely be scope for competitiveness, I think, amongst us playing Ghost Runner and getting the best times.
Is this going to be another Astro situation?
The best scores.
Oh no.
Maybe
it's a Christmas Maze moment.
Maybe.
Oh wait, that's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Never mind.
That's not Christmas Maze.
No, that's Chris Tarrant Maze. That is. We've also got that's come out this week, Ghostbusters: Rise of the Ghost Lord, which came out on the 26th, and we do have a little collective experience that we've uploaded onto the channel, which you should check out as well. But for a little recap here, it's really cool.
We had a great time playing it.
Great experience. If you're able to get like a group of friends together and take on some ghostbusting missions, especially if you're a Ghostbusters fan and you get a thrill out of seeing, all of the stuff, like the car.
The car's good.
Their car. And
I love
the proton pack.
Yeah, I was going to say using all the equipment and the scanners and stuff like that. When you see the little legs go up when you're scanning, and it's like, oh, there's a ghost here, and things like that. Yeah. It was great fun.
Using the traps.
Yeah, the traps, they were very satisfying to use.
It was a great experience. But there's something about doing PlayStation VR in multiplayer and seeing the people you're with. Like with this as well, you could see everyone's eyes moving.
I love seeing everyone's eyes.
And just being able to gesture to each other with your actual hands, and then seeing your in-game avatars doing that as well. I love communicating with people in PlayStation VR 2 when everyone's in the same physical space together. it's a great experience and just a very fun game.
I like it, but not when I'm covered in little Stay Puffed marshmallow men
That was
freaking out.
amazing. I love that.
I didn't get a chance to be covered by them. Because I was like, everyone else got them. And I was like, oh, am I going to get Stay Puffed? And then I didn't. But I was having a great time picking them up.
Pick them up and you bring them to your face and they're like all angry.
Trying to get off and stuff.
Well,
they
I
were
don't know.
lovely.
It felt like,
Lovely.
it felt like a bedbug moment. I was like,
Yeah.
get them off.
Oh, yeah, you were really freaking
I
out.
don't like it. Ugh. I just don't like the thought of being covered in crawling creatures, whether they are delicious soft marshmallows or not, It's like an edible spider. Ugh.
Ugh.
No, not appealing. And also out this week... out yesterday, the 27th of October.
Oh.
Yeah, the bells are ringing. The ghosts are howling. Wind's howling. Because...
What game is it? My God.
Wait, 2 came
Oh,
out.
I was going to say. I didn't know.
Of course.
I feel like I got someone when you were like, the bells are ringing. I was like, have I got the complete wrong game?
No.
And I was just like,
No,
was there a game
I was
with
just saying
spooky
scary
bells?
things.
Yeah, it's Alan Wake 2.
The dogs are barking, which just means you've got sore feet. Does
it? Oh, yeah.
All my dogs are barking.
Oh, my dog. Yeah, I have heard that before.
And Alan's probably saying that because he's been wandering around the dark place for 13 years. So, Alan, time to wake up, eh? But that's come out yesterday. So right now, in real time, right this second, I will be sprawled upon thine sofa. Mine sofa, actually, not yours. Playing this game, having the best time. I'm so excited to get my hands on it. We're recording early, as always, on the podcast, so I haven't actually dove in yet. But seeing Mr. Alan Wake appearing in Fortnite and like...
Yeah, that's right. He literally popped up in Fortnite alongside
Yeah.
Jack Skeleton and Michael Myers, was it?
Yeah, but he's got like a whole like a reminder of his story like in Fortnite and everything. It's wild, honestly. It's such a wild crossover. I was like, oh, I did not expect this, but sure, I'm interested. Wherever Alan goes, I go. Let's get in Fortnite. Get some winner chicken dinners.
I loved it when he was announced in Fortnite as well, compared to the other characters that were announced for Fortnite, because you have like Jack Skeleton, for example, who's the skeleton in the suit, and then Alan Wake is like when we played the sticky notepad game on the forehead, and then you said he's just a man.
Just an
It's like
innocent
Alan
man.
Wake, even in Fortnite, just looks like a man, he just looks like a man. But I loved it for that, and I love Alan for that because he's so relatable. Our Alan.
Oh, just a man with elbow patches. He's just having a good time. I know that winner chicken dinners from PUBG, by the way, that was a joke just before anybody comments like, ooh, you said the wrong thing. Did it on purpose as a funny little thing. Hilarious me. And speaking on that, it's time to move on to our main feature. That was our lovely little news round. Ah! Oh, God damn. Did that get you?
No, didn't get me.
Oh, God. Okay,
I think it's because I was too busy looking at Rob's reactions.
Did it not give you the pang of fear in your chest?
No.
Okay. Well...
No. If you somehow manage to make something come from this side, if you've got something lined up, then that would be scary.
Okay.
I'm expecting it to come from here.
Okay, well, not at this time, though.
It's like that. Oh, there's a little ruffle there on the on the heartwave monitor.
The little ruffle.
Okay, that's good.
Like a 1.
A one
A 1 out of 10.
ruffle.
Yeah. Oh,
If you're a
she did something.
if you're a listener, I just put my hand near Rob's face, so we'll get a rise out of him yet.
No, you won't.
We'll try again in the main feature, which we're going to go to now, which is all about unexpected horror moments that terrified us and just some general Halloween chatter. So we'll see you there shortly. Okay, we're back. I'm trying to be calm and cool and collected because I can feel myself getting overexcited talking about horror and spooky stuff. So let's just have a real calm, chill moment.
I feel like we just has like some sea sound effects, like.
Ash is trying to calm it down now so that when she goes loud, it will be scary.
Oh,
That's
I
what
didn't
she's
pick
trying
up
to
on
do.
that. I genuinely thought you were trying to hold back your excitement.
Let's everyone be quiet. For
And
no
relax.
reason.
Oh, well, okay, I guess we can be loud then. Right, I'm not going to start yelling. I'm going to keep my yells to myself, unless it's a jump scare at some point. Not right now.
There might be people at home who've already been scared by the jump scares you've done.
I hope so.
There might be people who have stopped listening because the jump scares are too much and they're
Yeah.
fully there on their sofa, or they've had to pull off at a welcome break or something on the road because they're too spooked.
to pull over at the welcome break.
Yeah.
Darren, pull in. There's a road chef. I can't handle this anymore.
Too scary.
She got me
Let's put
too many
something else on.
times.
Let's put Radio 2 on.
Oh my
Listen to
goodness.
Dermot.
Put classical FM on, please.
Well. I can't promise there won't be any more yells. Oh, that rhymed. But right now we do have spooky business to attend to. So I thought I'd start this off by asking what you think makes for a good surprise moment for scares outside of classic jumps. And I'm just going to make some notes. Rob, if you want to go first.
Outside of classic jumps. Well, like the moments that I think of are jump scares,
Yeah.
but they don't happen in horror games. And that's
Oh, right.
when I find them scary. In particular, well, I find jump scares scary in horror as well. But when you're really not expecting it, like in horror games, there'll be stop it. Like in something like Until Dawn, for example. You know, horror does that thing where you can feel like the game is taking like an intake of breath.
Yeah.
It asks you
And-
to like look into
Yeah,
something.
and you can feel like, you get that you open something, or there's that classic moment where the protagonist will be walking backwards and they're like, oh, thank goodness. And the camera, you can feel like that space behind them that you can't see, and you know something's going to be there. But one that always gets me, I think it's in Batman Arkham Knight,
Oh, right, yeah.
where you'll be gliding around, grappling around, and you grab like a rooftop, and as Batman pulls himself up towards it, I think it's Man-Bat, just like screeches at you from the top of this rooftop, and it's absolutely terrifying.
I've heard of this.
Absolutely terrifying. And I think Joker mocks it as well in Arkham Knight. Does another jump scare with Joker. But it's so scary. And that's a whole little side quest is going and finding Man-Bat
Yeah.
and taking him down. But I remember finding that absolutely petrifying.
Noted.
So yeah, so just the next time I'm grappling around rooftops, Ash, just
Yeah.
hide on one of the roofs
Okay.
and come out and scream. That'll scare
the
me.
common thing you like to do on your weekends.
Yeah.
Just grab your grappling
So I'll be
gun.
gliding around Chippenham this
Yeah.
weekend.
I've got my bat wings on in it. Me and Rosie are going to tag team.
We're going to tag team.
You'll
Yeah.
get one. You'll glide on a roof and think, "Oh, I know a jump scare's coming." I'll be like, and then Rosie will come up from behind me and be like, "Wah!" And you'll get the double whammy.
Yeah,
Double whammy.
That would be scary. That would
Yeah.
be scary.
Exactly.
But yeah, what was the question?
The question
Again?
was, what do you think makes for a good scare outside of classic jump
Outside of
scares?
jump scares.
But that is a great one.
I mean, but that is a jump scare, isn't it? So I guess, are you talking about just like general scary atmosphere?
Yeah, I think what frightens you in games, basically, like what gets your belly going all weird.
I think, something that creates an overriding, like Alien Isolation, I think is the scariest game I've ever played. And it's not a game that deals in jump scares, really. It's a game that deals with creating an oppressive atmosphere where you feel like you're being hunted, and the sense that you are... Disempowerment is obviously a very crucial aspect of these things. In horror games, you typically play as protagonists who aren't heroic, who aren't strong. Maybe you'll have like a gun or maybe an even more feeble weapon to protect yourself with. But in Alien Isolation, you feel so underpowered compared to the thing that you know is hunting you. And just even when it's not there, there's always the possibility that it could be there.
Yeah.
Hearing sounds, you've got your motion detector. The whole environment is oppressive anyway. Lots of angles and pipes and flickering lighting. So I think games like that's the most scared I've ever been in a game is playing Alien Isolation.
I'll never forget when the alien caught me from like the vents for the first time, because you can see like drool slightly, but like you say, the atmosphere's so...
Well, you almost feel like a sense of relief. Like when the alien does get me in Alien Isolation, that's like the release valve. It's like, oh God,
Yeah.
thank God it's got me, basically, because I just can't handle the tension. It's that build-up of tension for me that I find scary. And it's the same for horror movies as well. Like my favorite horror movies are ones that just create like a sense of tension or unease throughout them, and you feel like something's off. You feel like something's not quite right, and you can't quite put your finger on what it is. That's outside of jump scares. That's what scares me the most. Yeah, that's my answer.
That's good. That's a good answer. How about you, Rosie? Because you're a fun-loving guy.
Fun-loving guy
you're
over
always
here.
like, hee hee. Is there any moments in games where you're like, oh my goodness, this is really getting me?
Yeah, there's loads. I mean, talking about one, like just for example, games that aren't horror games. I'll never forget the first time in Uncharted Drake's Fortune where you have to power on the generator, I think it is, and you've just discovered about I won't say what they are, but the little creepy monsters that are kind of running around. I'll never forget, I was at my dad's house and I was playing on the PS3, and I would always just remember I had to fully pause it for a bit, and I just pretended that I was like, I'm hungry, I'm going to the fridge. Meanwhile, I was just, the suspense and the atmosphere, especially in Uncharted, which, the whole time I've been like, yeah, I'm just on this adventure, look at me discovering all these things, and then suddenly you're just in this intense situation. Like replaying it, when you know what's happening, it's like, all the fear's gone and everything. It's still creepy, but it's nowhere near as scary as when you first experience it, like knowing nothing at all. I'll always remember that one really creeping me out.
I think that's a great shout. I remember that bit. It's like Uncharted just becomes a horror game for about an hour.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying. Like, yeah, you've gone from swinging around these lush green environments to all of a sudden being in this quite enclosed, dark space.
Yeah.
And there are undead pirates out to get you. It's really cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then like with the red like lights flashing about as well, and then they all just keep on charging at you, and they're so much stronger than you as well, and you just panic. So that's again, it's just like I'm a big contender for like the like you say, Rob, the suspense and tension building in horror games and also in not horror games. Another example of one which I would never have expected to, it didn't scare me, but it definitely creeped me out, was in A Hat in Time. There was a stage called, I think it's like Vanessa's Manor or something like that. But A Hat in Time is a very colourful, bright, lovely platformer. Like you're a little hat kid and you're always skipping around and stuff. And then suddenly you've got this level where like the music is slightly slower and a bit more like and if you've got basically just this shadowy figure sort of stalking around, and if you stand outside for too long, the whole screen starts shaking, goes a bit blue, red, everything gets disoriented. And I remember like, I was just sitting there thinking, yeah, I'll just carry on with A Hat in Time for a bit. And then that level, first experiencing it, when you're not prepared for a horror experience, you're fully just like, I wasn't expecting this from you. You can't help but have your heart pump a little bit more than what you're usually expecting. But again, it's just because that in that situation, it just drops you in it. Because even, you could say it's like Mickey's Wild Adventure, which is it's a family friendly game. So it's still like a colourful, slightly spooky mansion, but it's just the way that it just drops you in there and you're like, oh my God, I have no idea. I wasn't expecting this at all. But I think the biggest thing for me is the atmosphere and the building of suspense and the anticipation of what's coming. Basically exactly what Rob said. I mean, my favourite horror game of all time is the Resident Evil remake for the first game. And the way, I just think that's a prime example of like a horror game, because there's so many moments where, I mean, in the original Resident Evil, you've got the lock camera angles. The remake has lock camera angles, but takes it to the next step. Like a camera angle can literally be when you walk in a door and then suddenly your character is right in the camera and it's just the door behind you. And if you take a single step forward, then that's it. Like, then you're going to see the rest of the hallway. What else is going on? Is there a monster? Is there a zombie dog or something like that? It's just constantly, every corner is unsafe, and every sound, every like shadowy effect from the windows and things like that. It's just such a creepy game, and it just gets more scary as you play it. So I'm a big contender, for like the anticipation of like what's gonna get me. Oh my God, this is intense. So that's what gets me, I think.
I definitely think atmosphere has a massive part to play in creating horror, but I also agree with you guys that I think it's tone shifts that I really like the most, to be fair, like that scare me. So playing something and it not expecting it to be a horror game, and then it really going dark, but like on a flip. Like there's no build up, there's no atmosphere. It's just like boom, you're in
Yeah.
there. So something like Doki Doki Literature Club or like Buddy Simulator 1984, where everything looks really happy and beautiful on the surface, and you literally do one thing and everything changes and flips and there's something nasty and rotten under the surface. I think like facades, like beautiful facades that then kind of crumble and reveal something really, really grim are definitely my favourite type of the non-horror horror experience for sure. And I think making feel like good surprise moments and good scares outside of jump scares. The build-up is absolutely the most important part. That's definitely like a known tactic, is if you make everything calm, you make everything, you know, prepared for the moment. If you do the really slow reach out, you open the door really slowly, you then move really slowly, you have an angle that you can't see from behind. It's that expectation and then the letdown if you don't put a jump scare in, to then build it up again, because they like everybody knows something's coming, so you go through the process again as you go into a next room until you finally burst that bubble and then reshape it again and build it up again, because it is a relief to get found by the monster. It is a relief to see something nasty, because you feel proven right. You're like, hell yeah, okay, I knew that there was something horrible going on here. One of the things that really did that well for me was Vex on PS2. You know, I don't know if you've played that, Rosie.
No, I haven't.
It's I don't even know what it is. It's one of those ones that I have a bit of a vague memory of. I just know that I played it a lot when I was younger, and you're like this little beast with some claws, and you do some platforming, you do some collecting. It's like a hub world with different levels. And in the main bit, there's the creatures are like shadows, but they're like pointy little shadows, and they hide. So like you'll be going across a bunch of sand dunes, and they'll be hiding behind them, and you can see them moving in the distance. But as you go past, they hide, so then they can come out and scare you. But it's just seeing something move and knowing that it's out there and knowing that you've got to go that way, and like they're going to jump out at you.
It sounds like, weirdly, Rugrats Search for Reptar on PS1. Again, you would not expect something to be spooky, but there is a level in there which is genuinely spooky, and as a kid I always avoided it because you don't have to do all the minigame levels to finish Rugrats Search for Reptar. I'm a Search for Reptar pro. But there's one level where it's like, oh no, it's nighttime, and you know the charming story is that you have to open the refrigerator because there's light in the fridge, so that's the only source of light. So you've got to go from Tommy Pickles' bedroom to the kitchen, but it's like the only moment in the game where it's nighttime and you've got a little nightlight which has got a little pumpkin face, well, a little smiley face, but it looks like a little pumpkin face. But the music is just like really creepy and like and you just have these like really thin little paper ghosts, and that's all they are. But with the sudden lighting change in the game, and with the music and the ghosts, when you put your flashlight on them, they go like or something like that. Yeah, they do like a really creepy like sort of noise. You're like, ah! And your torch has got battery life, so it's not like, it's a child-friendly game, and you're there learning about how to manage, you know, your battery and your torch and stuff. So
Alan Wake for kids.
Alan Wake, yes, Alan Wake.
Alan Wake as a child. Oh, there is definitely something to be said for kind of unexpected noises that really get me as well, like in the atmosphere building. Like I find the way that people make dinosaurs sound in games really scary, because I hate the resonance of something massive with kind of like this they do this like tinny sound in the roars, and it really gets me. Like dinosaurs just really scary. I used to have a recurring nightmare about pterodactyls, which I probably said before, but I used to have a recurring nightmare about them because like I love them and I think they're cool and impressive. Like anything that I'm a bit scared of, I'm probably in awe of as well. But like dinosaurs was a big one when I was younger. That just like I love them, but also hearing the noises they make really upset me. Like and I still do now. They still make me uncomfortable. Like hearing like the. But with the deep and underneath.
I think they're all like the T-Rex roar. I think is famously built like it's a mishmash of various animal sounds. So there's like an elephant in there and lion in there, and so all those sounds are real, Ash. Like it's a real animal making those sounds.
It's because it sounds like when creatures that make underwater noises in something like Returnal as well. Yeah. Like where it's like a sonar and you know it's something massive like bouncing noise around, and it sounds like metal scraping on metal with like organic sounds in it as well. It just it really hits something primal in me and makes me uncomfortable.
Underwater, now you mentioned it, that's any underwater segment immediately I find scary.
Yeah.
Just because being underwater is quite scary. I'm trying to think of a specific example. Tomb Raider games, anything that made you solve a puzzle underwater in Tomb Raider used to freak me out to the point where I just wouldn't want to go through the level anymore. If I knew I had to do an underwater bit, I was like, oh, please, no. I can't do this.
There's one level in Tomb Raider 2 where literally you just start underwater and you're just in like the depths of the sea, and like literally the level just starts and you're there and your breath's going down and you just have to swim in the darkness to like try and find something, and there's sharks roaming around. And I remember I was playing this on my Vita. I think I was in a plane at the time and I was like, oh my God, Laura, find something, anything.
Yeah.
And then of course you die immediately because you're panicking and then you don't know where you're going, but that's a good like you're in the depths of the
big
ocean.
sounds underwater is scary. You heard of the bloop, Ash?
Yeah, but didn't they figure out what the bloop was?
No.
Oh, that's
I choose to not believe that in any official explanation for the bloop. It's a big, unexplained, enormous monster. It was like a mysterious sound underwater picked up on some kind of device, whatever they used to pick up underwater sounds, and they're like, "Oh, the noise of that sound, like whatever's made that sound, it's like way bigger than a blue whale or anything we have." And I just love that kind of, what was it?
When was this? Was this recent or?
It was it was a mystery, an unsolved mystery for years. Like they could hear the bloop, but they had nowhere to assign it. And I think it did move as well. Like it was like the way that they tracked it. It very much suggested something really weird. And it's in the past couple of years that it's been not debunked, as Rob would say.
Yeah, I just ignore because it's fun. I like mysteries, and it's boring when they get a rational explanation assigned to them.
Yeah, I do think that Returnal level, as much as Returnal is kind of psychological and scary, without necessarily going full throttle with the horror. That underwater level, the last biome, really made me uncomfortable. Like I enjoyed playing through it, and it's the hardest part of the game as well. So you got to figure out how to get through and dodge through everything and like repel enemies and have a really kitted out Celine. But yeah, I really felt my stomach just churn when I went into that bit.
Man, what a game!
Yeah.
Every time I remember Returnal, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
What a great game.
So underappreciated as well.
Yeah.
Like it's right up there for me.
It's definitely
one of the best PS5 games there is.
To use underrated like liberally, like it's rated highly, but just not.
Yes, well, exactly. It's not rated highly enough. Like it should be 10 out of 10s across the board. That's an amazing game.
Not rated by enough people is what I mean. It? Like more definitely need to play. We've talked quite a little bit there, so I'm just going to kind of quickly run you through my next question, which is, do you have any games that stood out for their surprise, scary moments, other than the ones you've mentioned? Because I got a few that I can bring up otherwise. Yeah,
mine are sort of silly. Like Final Fantasy VIII, when I had to go hunting for Marlboro tentacles to unlock Quistis's ultimate weapon. It meant you had to fight Marlboros, and they're terrifying.
What, cigarettes?
No. No, just horrible big green monsters.
In Final Fantasy 16, it's the one that Clive fights in the...
They're called Morbles in Final Fantasy 16. They do the bad breath attack.
Oh,
you fight one really early on.
The big one.
But in Final Fantasy 8, I think they're the most dangerous iteration of the Marlboro that there's been. And when they appear on screen, they do this horrible noise that used to make me jump every time. They're like, ha, 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 ha. They do a horrible, like, laugh sound. And the first note of it always used to make me jump. There you go. Do a Marlboro impression. That will scare me.
No, forget that I'm doing jump scares. That's my next tactic. You got to forget now.
See, it's in my head. It's been in my head the whole podcast, Ash. Everything you do, I am questioning and analysing and thinking, is this part? That was all. That was a good one. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
I'm not going to do a polite and wait for him to finish. Just do it in the middle.
Do you remember that? Have you seen that jump scare in The Haunting of Hill House when they're in a car? That's the best jump scare I've ever experienced.
Do you know it was unscripted?
I have heard that the two actors in the front didn't know when Ghosty in the back was going to do it.
I think, it was in the when they spoke about it afterwards. The two people in the front had a page and a half of script to read through.
Yeah,
and they just basically told the lady in the back jump up at this point, and so they thought that they had a page and a half to go. So when she leapt up, they were like, ah, and it was like a real reaction because they weren't expecting
so good because you could feel like the scene wasn't being built for it.
Yeah,
and that was anyway. We're diverging here, but
it's good though.
Yeah.
Fall of the House of Usher's out now as well. We can talk about that after.
What's that?
New Mike Flanagan.
Really? Oh, I didn't realise. Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I am excited.
I don't know anything about this.
Rob was a big fan of Midnight Mass, so
Hill House, Bly Manor. You've
Midnight
seen
Mass.
those on Netflix?
No, I haven't heard any of these.
And then Midnight Mass. Did you watch Midnight Mass in the end?
No, so I'm going to watch it this year.
Oh, it's good.
It's my treat this year. I'm going to watch Midnight Mass, then I'm going to watch House of Usher, or maybe the other way around. But I just like a TV just hasn't, like, I watch horror films, I play horror games. Horror TV has taken a little bit of a back step for me, so I'm going to have a really nice, like, watch everything at once moment and
Right.
just engorge on the medias. But it is on my list of things to watch. One of the things that really got me is like a surprise scary moment. It wasn't a horror game, but for Grey Hill Incident. Do you remember when I told you about that alien horror game where, like, it was the little grey men and it had a really rude trailer?
Yes.
And we had to cut what I said out of the podcast.
I don't remember this.
I know what game you're talking about.
Well, yeah, that was the Deep Cut podcast. But there, I played it because I was like, hee, I'm going to give it a go. And it's like, it's really like well designed. Like, it looks really good. So it's proper like being in a darkened neighborhood when aliens have like dropped down into this town. So you're there and you know that aliens are there, but you don't see any, and you have to go around and collect some bits and go through the town and basically make it to safety. And when you get to the bit where the aliens turn up, they're only like chest height because they're like little grey men. And I don't know what it is, but they just come out of nowhere and they walk like Michael Myers at you, like really fast.
Ugh.
And it, another thing that scared me a lot when I was younger, because I was a scaredy cat, it was dinosaurs, big loud noises, but also aliens. I was really scared of after watching Signs too young.
Oh, aliens. There's like a specific type of alien that really creeps me out.
Yeah, the greys, is it?
Well, like we get the aliens in Independence Day, for example, like aggressive aliens who've come to Earth to destroy it. Not scary. Aliens like in Annihilation, for example.
Oh, weirdos.
Where you don't understand the motivation of the alien at all. It's just weird. And it probably isn't, it doesn't mean harm, but just the nature of its existence is just so unnatural when it's placed on Earth.
Yeah.
And the effect it has on the surroundings and the people, I find that really creepy.
Yeah. Oh,
that kind of thing creeps me out.
Bear scene.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
But this is right at the end, right at the very end. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but
weird.
I can't really talk about it without spoiling it. It's weird and it creeped me out more than any of the scary bear stuff that was in the scary skull bear. The ending just weirded me out a lot, and I regularly think about that.
Yeah, it
Creepy.
is really good. It's really good. Have you got any ones to add, Rosie, for moments that just really got you, like by surprise, in horror games or not horror games?
One that's not in a horror game was when I first played Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater for the first time, and you fight the end. Because I was fighting the end and I was so intense on finding the end in like so that it's like a boss arena and you're sniping each other and he's got like ultimate camouflage, and I was so intense, then suddenly I just hear heavy breathing. And it sounded like it was right behind me in the game, and I will never forget, because you know when you're so focusing on something and then suddenly you're just like just like this breathing, and then I was freaking out, and you could still hear it for a bit while you're aiming, and I was just like, what on earth is that? And then suddenly the game takes you out and you see the end is literally right behind you, and then then you get a game over. But I will never forget that moment of just being so engulfed in the fight. Maybe I took too long in the fight, but I must have done. But I was so engulfed, and then just hearing that heavy breathing, and then for months afterwards, I couldn't stand heavy breathing. It just freaked me out. If anyone came up to me, just started going like.
Does that happen a lot?
No, well, because I told my friend. Listen to this. Because I told my friends, even though they didn't fully understand, but they all just found it funny that now I was just really freaked out by heavy breathing. But
he used to say that line, didn't he? Like, this is the end.
Yeah.
He used to say, and sometimes if he'd managed to creep up on you, that's what he'd come out with.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly the line because at this point I was too freaked out. Suddenly I was just just this heavy breathing that I would not expect at all. I was there just like, right, where's the end? I'm going to get him. And then suddenly just to be caught off guard like that in such a creepy and intense way, I remember that really standing out to me as knocking me out for months. Yeah. I fully had to take a couple of days break. I was like, I'm not. I was like, the end can wait. I'm going to take a couple of days break before I go back into it.
There's lots of scary stuff in Metal Gear. The Psycho Mantis fight has, when you first do it, it is scary because you
Yeah.
don't understand what's going on. It's weird. The game is taking control away from you. You don't actually understand whether the game's broken or not. It's designed in such an amazing way that it plays with, you know.
It's like a psychological
It
horror.
is, yeah. It is. It's doing a number on you. The
Yeah,
game,
it does
and
a number on
it's
you.
It's really good.
In a professional term.
And then you get the screaming mantis boss fight in Metal Gear Solid 4 as well. I found quite harrowing. Just the music in that really creepy.
Yeah.
It sounds like someone wailing. The music is really effective and evocative.
With the little
Yeah,
like animatronic puppet sort of like
Yeah.
motions as well and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember that being very creepy.
Well done, Metal Gear.
Well done, Metal Gear.
Now available in Metal Gear Solid Master Collection.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I wrote loads of bits down, but we should move on to the next part. But yeah, Bramble is another one I would just want to shout out because I loved Bramble. I really enjoyed Bramble the Mountain King.
Is that the one with the weird creepy thing coming out of the swamp?
Yeah.
Oh, I really want to play that.
It looks really cool.
It's
I've not played it yet.
good. Honestly, it's one of my top games of this year. It was it's like Little Nightmares, but like a spooky Scandinavian like fairy tale.
I love the sound of that. And from what I've seen of it, I thought, I've seen that section of gameplay where we're trying to escape that horrendous looking thing that's coming out of the swamp trying to get you. And I think, wow, that looks, it just looks amazing. But also, terrifying.
Gameplay wise, it's really interesting. Like each area kind of has its own legend that you've got to come up against, and the very first one is not so much a legend as just something horrible that you find that kind of sets the tone of the game. So you go through and it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful game, and you're in these gorgeous forests full of life, full of creatures. Everything's like there's little gnomes with little hats on and little like kind of babies that are flowers. Like it's like walking into a true proper Victorian fairy tale, like that kind of style of illustration that comes to mind. And then your sister gets taken by a troll, which is horrifying, after you followed some fairies and she gets snatched. And as you kind of then go on your journey to find her, the first thing you stumble across is all of these gnomes in bear traps. And then you come into a butcher's lair that's full of meat and he's like carving up loads of creatures and you have to like squelch through all of the guts. And it's just so well done. And that's just like a taste of what it is and how like violent it is, whilst also being so beautiful. This game is one of the few that legit made me cry tears because
Of fear?
Hedgehog, wasn't it?
no, not fear, of joy, because I saw a really nice hedgehog. I think it's honestly how terrible, like horrifying the rest of the game was. I saw this hedgehog and I literally just started crying. I was like, it's so beautiful, it's so cute. I'm tearing up thinking about it again, honestly.
That's quite a famous clip. I don't know who it is. Some streamer who's playing The Last of Us.
Yes.
And the little bunny comes on. She's like, oh my God, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen. And then the arrow just...
Doesn't she go like,
Yeah.
like it's just her whole soul
I love
leaves her
that
body.
clip so much.
It's so good. Mine was not that dramatic. It was just emotional. But yeah, and then the ending boss fight is one of the most like, oh my God, I just loved it. I got like goosebumps. Like when I get you get really excited into something, you're like, oh my God, this is my jam. Like I was like goose flesh all over, just going, yes. Like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. But there's been so many amazing horror games this year. And so many good, just spooky vibe games that it's still not even my top game of the year. It's just one of many because there's literally, the choices are plentiful. Do you guys have any recommendations for Halloween? Because I can just reel off some in my collection otherwise, but I thought it might be nice to hear from you as well. I'll allow you to speak.
Well, I mean, this year, like I've said before, like for the past couple of years, every October I've done a Silent Hill game. So I'm currently doing Silent Hill 3. So, Silent Hill, recommend those. They're good, creepy. The sound design in Silent Hill is probably my favourite thing ever. And playing through Silent Hill 3, I'm playing it with my mate Liam at the moment, but I'm like the one behind the controls. And there's so many moments I'm like, can you hear that terrifying noise? Or did someone just scream or something like that? So fully, if you want like spooky sounds and atmosphere, Silent Hill games.
Silent Hill.
they're brilliant for that. And of course, I'm going to shout out Resident Evil.
Yeah. I haven't heard of that. What's that one?
Oh, have you not? Let me tell you about this little thing called Resident Evil. This little indie game from a little indie studio called Capcom. But if you want... Because, I've talked about Resident Evil 1 loads and, Resident Evil 2. So I'm actually going to say the original Resident Evil 3 if you want to be chased by something. Because I've recently been thinking about my boy Nem Nem.
Chase me, Nemesis, chase me.
Well, no, because it actually sprung to mind, Rob, when you earlier said the fear of being hunted. And I don't think I've felt as intense, apart from Alien Isolation. But Alien Isolation and Resident Evil 3, the original, I have never felt so hunted by something, because Nem Nem can literally pop up at any point, and then like you said with the aliens in the Grey Hill, he just charges straight for you, like fully goes stars and stuff, like, it's terrifying. The music kicks in. So if you want the thrill of the chase, then I recommend Resident Evil 3, the original.
Yeah, nice. Rob, you got anything?
Not really.
That's also okay.
So yeah, I'm keen to hear what you would recommend.
Bramble. That was my main one. Bramble Dredge is the other one because I have to recommend it. I think it's such a good intro to horror, but also fans of horror. I think it just goes over that line really, really well. I also want to recommend this little game called Baldur's Gate 3. Which isn't a horror game, but the horror missions in it are sublime. It's another one that I got a little goosey bumps over, because when fantasy goes dark, that's my space. That's my space. Is why I love Bramble so much. I love it when you go to somewhere fantastical and it goes really wrong. And the scary parts of Baldur's Gate, I just think are done so well. One of my favorite parts is a massive spoiler, so I can't say it. But I will. I'm trying to think of how I can communicate it to anybody who's played it. But it comes in Act 3, and it's one of the main missions, and it happens underground. That's the best I've got. You'll know what I mean if you finish the game, and it's incredible, and it's very horror based, very, very scary, and yeah, it was just amazing. If you are playing Baldur's Gate 3, or if you want to start it to be able to get a nasty Halloween treat for next week, that is what I would definitely recommend. Also, I'm going to say Inscription again, because I don't think it gets enough love, and I think it needs to come back around. I have loads of stuff from 2023 on a Twitter post at the moment as well. There's films, games, all that sort of stuff. Dead Space, Amnesia the Bunker, stuff that came out this year. Again, Buddy Simulator 1984 as well. Really enjoyed that. Loads of stuff that is really nice. So, did that get you?
3 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you had a little more of a ruffle.
Yeah.
Okay, so unexpectedly now, we're moving on from our unexpected horror chat to the unexpected PlayStation Access mini quiz.
I wasn't expecting this.
Here we go.
Okay, I wasn't expecting this.
It's spooky time on the PlayStation Access podcast.
I love that Scooby-Doo intro.
So, for the unexpected PlayStation Access mini quiz, this is a mini quiz based on games that have appeared previously in the Halloween series of yore. So these are all games that have appeared on the channel that you will know the name of, that are spooky based or have been used in a spooky capacity. You know what I mean?
Okay, and these are only of the Halloween show that you run, is it, or
across the years in Halloween?
Across the years in Halloween.
So the type of quiz it is a word association quiz. So
oh gosh,
I'm going to give you a description that matches a game but doesn't use any of the words in the title. So to make this clear, if I said extraterrestrial loneliness,
Alien Isolation.
That would be Alien Isolation.
Okay.
Because it's like synonyms for the words in the title.
Mm-hmm.
If you get really stuck, I've got a hard version, which will be your first one, and I then have an easy version if both of you are like, what the hell have you written?
Oh, very nice of you.
I thought, you know what, I've got fail-safe. Got fail-safe, just in case. There's 7 questions, because it's PlayStation Access. And shout your name before you shout the answer, and then we'll do whoever has the most points at the end. Okay, so the first one is Forgotten Gloomy Drop.
Forgotten Gloomy Drop.
Rob.
Yeah?
Amnesia Dark Descent.
Yes!
Oh, well done.
2 points.
Who played that? Oh, wait, who did play that?
That was the Dave one.
That was Dave. That's right. And I was with him, wasn't I?
That was before I was born.
Yeah, I remember that.
Before you were born.
Yeah, and two points for Rob because he got it on the hard one.
Well done. Well done, Rob.
I didn't have to use the easy one. The easy one was syndrome ill-lit downfall.
That's harder.
I know. Okay, so number 2, we have overnight expiry. It's a synonym for a game that's appeared in the Halloween series.
Overnight expiry.
Overnight expiry. I can drop it down to 1 point for the easier answer if you prefer.
Yeah, I'm not going to get this, I don't think.
You want to pass?
Yeah, pass.
Okay, corpse by morning. Come on.
Oh, Rob.
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at these.
You guys are going to hate this one, but it's for 2 points for the hard answer. Sneaky prosynonydy.
What on earth does the second word mean?
Prosynonydy. Sneaky prosynonydy.
I've never even heard of that.
I've never heard of that.
Okay,
The word you've
from
used on the second word.
sneaky.
Sneaky prosynonydy. I had to spell it phonetically because I didn't know how to say it. But this throws back. I don't think, Rob, you were on this podcast, but we had a big debate about types of animals, and we had to cut loads of it because it just wasn't. It was factually incorrect.
Great.
And I looked it up afterwards and realised this is what the creature is. It's a prosynonydy. But I'll give you the easy one, which is cunning trash panda.
Yeah, Rosie, Sly Raccoon.
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got 3 points for Rob, 2 for getting for hard one for getting easy one, and 1 for an easy one for you. So 2-1 to Rob.
Yes,
right
and we did
3-2.
3-2. Sorry, I can't count.
No, 3-1 to me.
3-1.
I got one because I got Sly Raccoon.
I
On
can't
the
count.
easy.
Okay, number 4 we have Lich's Boogie Mausoleum. Lich's Boogie Mausoleum.
Rosie, Crypt of the Necrodancer?
Yeah.
Yes!
And the easy one on that one was Tomb of Undead Jigs. That's my house.
That's my house. Was it Tomb of Undead Jigs? I love that.
So that's 3 all now. So we're on number 5, which is this one is quite hard, but it did appear in a Halloween series. Geriatric call. Geriatric call.
Cool.
Call. Like caw call. Geriatric call. Do you want to drop it to easy? Should we take it down a notch? I think we should.
Oh, and I don't know what the first word means.
Yeah, pass.
Ancient jewellery.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Rob, Elden Ring.
Yeah. The pumpkin stream.
So we got 4-3 there.
Well done.
Okay, and then number 6, inhabitant poor. Come on. Inhabitant poor. Poor like P-O-O-R. Inhabitant poor.
P-O-O-R.
Poor. Inhabitant poor. Come on. Oh, I just know someone's at home going, rah!
I'm trying to think of what. It's the poor that's getting me.
Shall we drop it down
Poor
one?
as in not wealthy. Is that the type of poor?
That's how the word is spelt, yeah.
Right.
Inhabitant
poor.
Yeah. I go,
No.
okay, I'm dropping it down. Citizen bad.
Citizen bad.
Come on. Citizen.
Is it Resident Evil?
Yes.
Is it Resident Evil 2?
It's just Resident Evil.
Oh. What does evil have to do with poor?
Because it's like a poor morally. I googled it and the synonym was poor. Okay,
Really? It was because I thought
No.
Resident Evil, and then I was like, what does evil have to do with poor?
Yeah, poor is not a synonym for evil.
No, not as in not poor wealth. Poor like poor quality.
Evil quality. But you don't get an
I don't know.
evil. Oh, well, I mean, but that's why I was holding back because I should have just taken the risk and just guessed.
You should have, but you got a point.
I got a point.
What are we on right now with one question to go?
4 all.
4 all.
Yeah.
Okay, all right then. For number 7, it's a little bit different. Rather than it being synonyms, it's opposites because I just thought it sounded funnier. So this one is Sad's Arrogant Hot Dog Factory.
Is it Happy Humble's Burger Farm?
You got to say the right name, Rosie.
Happy Humble's Burger Farm.
Nearly.
Humble Happy's Burger Farm.
No.
Happy Humble's Farm Burger.
You're getting the S in the wrong place.
Happy Humble's Burger Farm.
No.
Happy's Humble Burger Farm.
Yes, there we go. We got there. Well done. And there you are. Rosie has earned a pod point. Do you remember when we used to do pod points? They mean nothing now.
I don't remember that, no.
You had loads of them to begin with.
Did I?
Yeah, but then we started having nobody in the podcast, so it felt a bit mean to have loads of pod points going around where not all of us were here. So now it's just... They're
Just a thing.
They're just a thing. They're memory. A distant memory.
It is a pod point, but it does nothing. Right, so there is a little PlayStation Access mini quiz done with. We're now going to go on to the comments of the week. So stay tuned. Ah! Did that get you?
No.
I don't know why I sensed that one was coming.
Okay, comments of the week time. Get singing.
Oh, God, who starts?
It's time.
It's time.
It's time for comments of the week.
I was about to do it for the camera switches.
Oh, it's okay. It's got done. That's all that
It
matters.
got done. Yeah.
We did it. Right, so comments of the week. I haven't actually explained what this is in a while, and I enjoyed doing that. So comments of the week are comments from the hashtag Pod Squad,
Pod Squad.
aka people who have used the hashtag Pod Squad,
Pod Squad.
upon the internet, either on our YouTube videos, on social media, just out in the wild, attached to a carrier pigeon, put on the pavement,
Shouting it in the street.
Yeah, carved into the flesh of Rob's leg if you can get close enough. But I don't recommend it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, please.
Pod Squad. Oh, but yes. So if you want to have a comment read out, or you want to say something lovely to us, because we only read the lovely ones, mind, because that's the ones that Alex collects. If you want to say something nice or fun or anything, or you have something to add to our podcast or respond to a question we've asked, put that hashtag in. Pop it on the internet and we'll come and collect it up and read it out on a future podcast. So these are people that have done so either by going back in time after listening to this one and somehow incepting it into this podcast, or just knowing about how we do it previously. I assume the second. So the first one is Kane on Demand, who has posted on the Queen Rosie Portrait community post.
Oh,
And they say to whoever is in charge of the graphic design in the Access team, good job. You've been doing a banger of a job with each thumbnail for the videos and also with the community images and posts. This image looks insanely good. Hashtag Pod Squad.
Pod
Squad.
Squad. Oh,
It's nice, isn't it?
I've finally got my little royal picture on the wall. I was very excited when I realised. I was like, everyone else has got a picture in the crown portrait. I get one now.
Rosie was most excited to have her crown portrait,
Yes.
which, well deserved. Well deserved, Rosie.
Oh, thanks.
Being a queen looks good on you, my queen.
Oh, thanks.
Ah, yeah. Rob, are you ready to face up to the music and fight Rosie for the crown back?
No, it's not my go.
I know,
Yeah.
I know it's not your go, but are you ready to do it eventually? Because Rosie's
Eventually,
going to win. Rosie's going to be queen forever now.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not,
think so.
honestly.
Definitely
I'm not going to be queen forever.
It'll be Dave next.
I think so.
Yeah?
But Dave is like the unsung hero. Like, Dave
He's
was...
not unsung.
He sings a lot.
Well, he does sing sometimes, but he can surprise you about how good he is with certain games.
Yeah, I feel like I'm ready to try and get my crown back, but
But
in a nice, friendly way.
in a nice, friendly,
In a nice,
non-competitive
friendly
way,
way,
just like the
yeah.
Street Fighter
Yeah.
one we did. To be fair, that was a lot of fun when we did Street Fighter 6.
If it was Rob or Dave, I'd be like, come here, I'm gonna rattle you. But rattle your bones.
Rattle ya.
Get rattled, boys. But we'll have a nice,
Lovely,
lovely
lovely.
one, because Rosie's not competitive anymore. We've also got a comment from RD Clark 1994 who says hashtag Pod Squad.
Pod Squad.
In light of Ash getting her first tattoo. Oh, here she is. For anybody who hasn't seen.
There it is.
It's Daisy! I'm very excited about it. I'm like, any excuse? I thought I'd ask a tattoo-related question, as I have recently gotten my first tattoo in honour of our daughter, Poppy, cute, and my wife, Eloise, constantly states that I should get one for her. So my question is this. If you were to all choose tattoos for each other, who would you want to tattoo? What would you make them get? Where would you make them get it? You can be as nice, silly or nasty as you like. For example, Rob chooses Dave tattoo and where he should get it on his body. So it's like if you've ever seen Just Tattoo of Us, hosted by
That's
Charlotte
a
from
hard
Geordie
question.
Shore.
You have to think about these questions, don't you? I don't know.
Yeah.
Dave, on his lower back,
Oh, tramp stamp.
a butterfly.
Nice.
See, I thought you were going to be
That'd
like
be funny.
the boss or something like that. From when Dave
Maybe
was
that'd be funnier, yeah.
maybe, but yeah,
Just he bends over to see the boss.
the boss.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I'm the boss.
The boss.
The boss.
A tramp stamp of the boss.
Oh,
Rosie, I would tattoo you with like a bikini on your arm. So like you could, I don't know, something with the elbow to make it look movement. I don't know how it would work.
just like a little dancing bikini on my arm.
You know, when you can squeeze it and kind of make it look like a cleavage, you could have a bikini there. So you could like be like cleavage, no cleavage, cleavage, no cleavage.
Well, in which case I would. Well, I mean, just for the matching, then we got to get matching team bikini tattoos there.
And
So
we
you
could
got
be like this. Woo.
Imagine if could we like link arms so it looks like you can mix match the bikinis
Oh,
if we had
yeah.
two different designs. Imagine that.
That would be good.
But okay, I will say Rob.
Yeah.
I will tattoo. Because I don't think you'd want a big tattoo, but if you wanted something I know you hate, which makes me feel sad to say this, but a single baked bean. Imagine a single baked bean just on your foot or something.
Scratch and sniff one.
No,
Oh, no,
like,
terrible.
that's one that I know you would like really not like. So if I wanted to be horrible, I would say that. But if I wanted to be nice, I'd probably.
That's the one you first said, so you definitely do want
Then,
to be
but no,
horrible.
but I was thinking, I was just like, oh god, what would be like a one that Rob would hate? But if it was a nice one, then like something like a bit of materia, a single like a little green materia.
That'd be nice.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I'd get the one ring tattooed on your forehead.
Oh, forehead.
Marilyn Monroe Gollum.
Yeah, Gollum is Marilyn Monroe on your arm like a sailor tattoo.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Jack is. Oh, no. Oh, it's happening. Oh, yes.
You like flex your muscles and like Marilyn Monroe just gets a little dance.
I've also got a comment from Jackus Maracus who says hashtag VOD Squad, hashtag Pod Squad.
Pod Squad.
Covering all your bases, baby. I haven't properly played a football game since FIFA 97. This was on the FC24 stream. But I'm enjoying these streams so much, I'm in danger of breaking that streak. While I'm thinking about the masterpiece that was FIFA 97, is there a particular year of FIFA or PES that is personal favourite for any of you? Rob, this one's for you. Unless, Rosie, you played a lot of FIFA or PES.
Nope. All I could say was Actua Soccer on PS1.
Nice.
Which isn't even a PES or a FIFA game, but I used to have a lot of laughs playing that on PS1.
I used to like Actua Soccer Club Edition on my PS1, which is very fun.
I don't know if I had club it. I probably just had not the club edition.
Not the Club Edition, no. PES 3 is an easy answer, just because it's the best one.
Oh, easy peasy.
Yeah, it was great. Brilliant time of my life, just playing Master League for hours and hours and hours. And it had Pierluigi Collina, a referee, on the front cover, which I think said a lot about the attitude that PES had. Like, it was a very serious football game. Had a very serious, scary referee on the front cover.
Ooh.
Halloween.
So yeah, PES 3 is my answer.
Nice. Very good. Thumbs up to you.
Thank you.
Ben Martin has also left us a comment saying, I want to see if you guys see these comments. Hashtag Pod Squad.
Pod Squad.
God Squad.
Yes. And that's the end of that section. So thank you so much, guys, for leaving your hashtag Pod Squad comments. We're now going to move on to, before we go, to prove that we are indeed real life flesh people who do real life flesh people things and not just skeletons wearing meat that have been enchanted. But we still have, we're alive and fleshy, you know? Ah! Did that get you?
No.
Even talk of skeletons, we're not afraid.
No.
Oh. Next section.
There's one thing that's going to get Rob. It's the talk of skeletons.
Why would that get me?
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I was like, skeletons I don't find spooky. Like,
No, they're funny. Skeletons are
I
funny.
like skeletons.
I like skeletons.
Skelly boys are great. I love
Yeah.
skeletons.
Has it ever actually been an actual scary skeleton?
No. I think a real one, if you just saw a skeleton.
If there was
a
an
real
actual
one.
real animated skeleton, then yes, I would be scared. But in all forms of media, they're either just sword fodder in fantasy games, or they're funny.
I tell you what, the ones that are actually a bit scary are the Dynamation ones from Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, a lot of people found those scary.
They're more cool than they are scary, but because of the way they move and it's kind of uncanny and it's like set against like real life people, I do think the Dynamation skeletons are quite unnerving.
I like the Jason and the Argonauts type ones.
Yeah. So it's like that kind of.
Yeah.
It's called Dynamation, but it's basically like advanced claymation.
Yes.
So they look a bit like. Woo.
Yeah, they're like, "Woo."
Yeah. Anyway, we're in before we go, everybody. There's a little skeleton chat, and it's time to talk about things that we do that aren't gaming. Rosie, you did your run.
I finished it, and I don't have to run again.
Are you though? Are you going to run again?
I think I've decided I'm going to try and keep up with the 30-minute runs, but I'm not going to be as strict as the training 3 times a week. Because already after I did the run, I've taken a week break, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel so I'm in bliss. I'm like, I don't have to go home and think I've got to cook, then I've got to run, and then I've got to do this, that, and the other, and then I've got to go to bed. Now I'm just like,
No more running.
No more. So I think I'll keep up with the 30-minute short ones just for a bit of fitness. But I'm also letting my body recover after the training, because I've learned now that long distance running can do a lot to your body, and it needs to fix.
Yes.
So,
Give yourself a rest.
it needs to fix.
Well done, Rosie. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You smashed it.
Thank you very much.
We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was literally thinking about how I could scare her off then. I was like, how could I work a jump scare into this? But no, I honestly, mega proud of you. I think you've done amazing. The money you've raised, all the work you've put in, I'm just blown away, and you deserve a massive rest and a big sleep now.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. I know the run itself was it's a crazy experience doing one of them and being in the run. So it's an experience I'll never forget, but I'm done.
You're happy that you've done it?
I'm happy. Yeah, literally, when I crossed the line, there was a lady who was just behind me, and then we were chatting, and
Were you like, I beat you?
no, she came up. I always say, because she when you just remember the scene, I remember she walked up behind me and she was like, oh, so you doing the London Marathon then? And I was just like, nope. And then this lady, she was fully saying oh yeah, I do the London one, and so I've got to keep on training. So she was someone who consistently does them, and I was just there just how do you do it? Yeah. How do you just do half marathon after half marathon after full marathon and stuff like that? I was like, oh my gosh.
It is wild. Runners are wild.
Yeah, they're wild.
Wild.
Yeah. I know a guy who does ultra marathons over the Brecon Beacons and 100-mile runs over mountains.
You walk mountains
Madness.
for fun though, don't you?
No, but one at a time and walking.
Yeah. You're not averse to a little adventure poo.
No. I like an adventure poo up a mountain, yeah.
Did you have to did you
Did you have to do a poo, Rosie, on your half marathon?
Did you have to do it on the sides? Did you have to just stop and drop? Or?
So they did have portaloos over the halfway point. So even if you did need to go, you had to run a bit to get there.
Yeah.
I didn't need to. However, I had the thing where I went to the toilet and everything beforehand.
That could be a good strategy, right? You start needing the loo.
Yeah.
And then
you've got to make it to the portaloos at halfway. That would spur you on.
Yeah.
You say that, but then you're so focused, then you're not really going to want to run, because your body, when you run and your stomach and all your body is just bouncing up and down, it's going to be a rough time. You're not going to want to run. You're going to want to walk very slow. But I had the moment at the first hydro station, because again, I'd never done anything like this before. So there was a hydro station, they just have the cups of water. But I think because it was the first one, the water was freezing. Ooh. So I had it, and it was just, have it when you have cold water and it just goes straight through you. So literally I had it, and then suddenly I just oh my God, I need a wee. And I was just like, no, I can't have this. I'm at the beginning of the race. I cannot. So literally I just sort of threw the rest of the cup away. I was just like, no, I'm just gonna not drink for a bit.
Should have thrown it on your head. That's what they usually do, isn't it? Like I
was tempted to do that.
Just throw it in their face. That's how they hydrate.
But I was tempted to do that, but suddenly my body was in such a, oh my God, you need a wee moment. I just didn't want to have any water sort of like near me at the time. I was just like, I've just got to focus on running.
Don't remind me, water.
Don't remind me that suddenly I need a wee. It went by, my body decided it didn't need a wee shortly after, but just that cold water going through. I remember.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
I wish I could train my body to be like that.
I drank so much water the race, but literally it was just at the beginning moment.
Sweated it out.
Yeah,
instead.
I think maybe it was probably sweated it out. We got the pictures coming through, and there's so many people of like pictures of people looking like content and fine, and then you see me, and I've got like, I call it my fish face. I'm feeling like, like just running. My hair, you can see it in like sweaty strands all over the place. Everyone else is looking beautiful on the run, and then here comes Rosie.
There's that meme of like the like annoyingly photogenic man who's like in the middle of like a massive run, and it's just him smiling, looking incredibly handsome and like dry. He's not, and everyone around him's like, and every time I look at it, it makes me laugh because it's just typical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just there's one person like hello, whilst everyone else is like, oh.
I know. My mum was like, "Oh, can you buy the digital pictures?" So I bought them. I've got like for her and stuff like that. And I said, "I will warn you, mum, they're not pretty pictures." Then she looked and she was like, "Oh, you really do have a fish face in some of them." But like in a joke, like she's so proud. And when I said it to her at first, she was like, "Oh, don't be silly. You were running a half marathon, of course." Like this, that, and the other. I think there was probably just one where I was really like, ugh. Just on the phone, I just heard her be like, "Oh, that does look like a bit like a fish."
What a paw.
I love my mum.
That's funny.
I wanted her to say that though. I was like, "Yeah, thank you, mum, for acknowledging."
I was right, mum. Oh, Rob, have you been up to anything fun that you want to share with the group?
No, not really. I'm going to see The Uncanny live.
Oh, you've seen them live?
Yeah, they're doing a live tour, so I'm seeing them on the 7th of November, I think.
If I can grab a ticket, I think I might see you there. Don't worry, I won't sit next to you. But I might.
My
go
wife
as well.
will be sitting next to me.
Oh, okay, that's a seat next to the other side.
Are you sat against the wall? So now you're just like, no one can sit on the other.
I think we're sitting quite near the front. I bought my tickets a long time ago.
Okay.
So we got pretty good seats, I think.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
If you see like two seats being taken up near the front, just make sure you get the other side.
I was going to say, and Rob will be like, my wife, put her in the middle, quick.
Oh no, I'm sat over here.
I will talk to your wife though as well. I'll be like, hi, how's it? Are you enjoying Uncanny? Whispering, going, that's pretty scary, isn't it?
I don't actually know what they're going to do for the live show, whether it will actually be scary or not. I have no idea what format it will take. I've been enjoying the TV show as well. I've seen one episode so far, and it was a good one.
What do they do for the TV? Do they for the TV show? Do they?
It's just the podcast, but with scary reconstruction visual bits.
Ooh.
So you're like, I saw a ghost in my house, and there'll be, video of a ghost as well as you just imagining a ghost.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
So it's quite scary.
The Ghost in My House. Have you guys heard that song that's like, there's a ghost in my house?
No.
There's a ghost in my
No.
house. It keeps on haunting me.
I've not heard that, no.
That's this year's Halloween anthem for you guys at home. I can't remember the name of it, so you're going to have to Google my delicious voice words and find lyrics. That's the one.
There's a ghost in my house.
There's a ghost in my house.
Yeah, and it's like it says funny lines like, I was looking down in my coffee cup, think I see a face looking back up, sitting in my easy chair.
See, I love these sort of like fun, spooky songs, so I'm definitely going to listen to this after the
I
podcast.
feel fingers running through my hair. It's good. I think it's about a man and his lost love more so than it is an actual ghost, which was disappointing, but it's still good for the season. So,
Oh.
That was a head turn.
Yeah, that's enough for me.
A little spike of adrenaline shot through me then.
That will do.
I knew you were going to do it at the end as well, so it's got to be coming now, surely.
I just want to add in one more super quick thing with the run. Thank you all so much for your support and your encouragement and your donations. You've helped so many lives, so thank you so much, everyone. I just wanted to slide that in right at the end there. I was like, thank you.
That's allowed, Rosie.
Thank you.
This once. Never interrupt me again.
Especially after a jump scare.
Right, okay, that is the end of this spooky podcast. So have a fabulous Halloween. I hope you've enjoyed our Halloween content this week. We haven't spoken about it here because this is happening before the week has happened. So hopefully you guys have been suitably spooked.
I'm sure we have been.
Yeah, there's some really fun stuff that's happened in it now. I was going to say coming up, but that's happened in it.
I keep going downstairs and then someone will be working on something and they're like, oh, I can't show you this one. Oh, God. What are they
Got the whole
doing?
office
What have they
like
got cooked
working
up?
on it. But yeah, so if you haven't seen that yet, definitely head over to the channel, give that a go. There's your Halloween horror spooky October content that you can consume, enjoy any time of year really, but it's especially good right now. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, and you can leave a comment if and when you've watched it of what you thought as well, because I only live if I get attention and praise like Tinkerbell. So keep that in mind. Thank you so much for watching and helping me live another day with attention.
Sorry, was that a Return to Neverland reference specifically?
Yeah.
The sequel to Peter Pan?
Yes.
I love that, so I would not expect that.
Right, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Come back in 2 weeks for more from the PlayStation Access podcast. In the meantime, check out the YouTube channel. And yeah, goodbye.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.
PlayStation